Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again so much for our time together. Today and tomorrow, I'm going to preach what you might call a Valentine's sermon, kind of early, but it's not. Because at Valentine's, I want to teach our families, our husbands and our wives, about loving each other. So what I want to do this family weekend, I want to teach young men about pursuit. Young men pursue what the Bible calls a good thing. So it's going to be a fun weekend. I'm going to be challenging all the young men to pursue. We have so many young men that have been raised without fathers in their homes. They don't have a father to teach them. They need to pursue. So I'm going to be Papa, and we're going to have a great time all weekend. Right now, I want us to go back and really kind of take an overview of chapter 8 and chapter 9 and a little bit of chapter 10. And I want you to see how even during miracles of judgment, there is mercy. I want you to notice that God put the people of Israel, remember we've just studied all of this, God put the people of Israel in the land of Goshen, the best of the land. And they had all their livestock there, and Pharaoh put all of his livestock also with them under their care in the land of Goshen. I want you to notice that in the midst of all the judgment that came upon Egypt, Goshen was spared. There were no flies, chapter 8, verse 22 to 23. There was no hail, chapter 9, verse 27. And there was no darkness, chapter 10, verse 23. There was a place of distinction. There was a place that in the midst of judgment, that place was set aside as a place of distinction. Israel were a people of distinction. So we not only have a place of distinction, we have a people of distinction. In chapter 9, verses 2 to 4, just illustrations, their livestock was spared. The livestock of the Egyptians destroyed, their livestock was spared. In chapter 9, verses 10 to 11, the people of Egypt got boils, the people of Israel had no boils. So again, a people of distinction. God said, I will make a distinction between my people and the people of Egypt. You and I need to understand that we never need to fear judgment. As believers, we have not been appointed under wrath. God makes a distinction between the just and the unjust. Even when you see judgment comes, God has places of distinction, and God has peoples of distinction. But notice some principles of mercy here. I want you to notice that these miracles of judgment started very small and only grew in intensity as hearts grew harder. Now, you need to understand that about God. When God's trying to get people's attention with miracles of judgment, He doesn't start with the draconian measures. He starts very small. He's trying to get people to pay attention. We'll see the same thing all through the book of Revelation during the Great Tribulation. Judgment starts small and only grows in intensity as the hearts grow harder. Secondly, I want you to notice that if you listen to what God says, you walk in mercy. Chapter 9, verse 20. Those that listened to what God said brought their livestock in and they did not die. So people who paid attention walked in mercy. And I also want you to notice that hard hearts bring destruction upon what mercy spared. In chapter 9, verse 31, when the plague of hail came, God spared the wheat harvest so that the people would have something. In His mercy, in His judgment, there was mercy. He didn't allow the hail to destroy everything. He timed that miracle of judgment so that the wheat harvest would be spared. In judgment, there was mercy. But when they hardened their heart, then came the plague of locusts in chapter 10, verse 5, and it destroyed everything that mercy had spared. I want to challenge you today. When you see God's hand of judgment begin to flow, do not harden your heart. Soften your heart. God is a God of mercy. Walk in His mercy.